Where is Dark? I wonder if she's online. Do you know if she's online on Discord or? I mean, oh wait, she's not even on our Discord. Hold on, I gotta let the cat in. Not right now. Alright, back. Mom's like, are you gonna watch Arrow? I'm
Okay.
like, sorry, what were you saying?
Okay.
My mom was like, are you gonna watch Arrow? I was like, not right now. Alright, so what I'll probably do is say, hold on. I need to make this character sheet real quick. I don't know if I gave this guy a name. This Romulan. Alright, delete that. Delete that. Definitely gonna need to keep the guard. Oops, wrong one. Delete that. Alright, so we'll just say she's over there. You're injured, or you were injured. Alright, so now I need to get...
Injured in the corner. Injured in the corner and looking at a chair.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find... Oh yeah, Centurion Thova. Character sheet. Pictures. Probably gonna be Romulan. I need literally any female Romulan will do. Or fucking take a Vulcan. New folder, unused. Yeah, I'm gonna use Centurion Listara. We'll just say she's instead of a pilot, she's a whatchamacallit, a medical officer. Alright, so she's gonna run a scan on you just to see what's up. And she looks at you and she says, Commander, your brain has been affected by something. Your acid technobabble levels are interfering with your neuron technobabble pathways. I don't know what happened to you over the last day or two, but I just want you to know I'm here to help. Does Tennyson respond, or does he keep being crazy?
He just looks at her and goes back to looking at the chair.
She looks over at the chair. Maybe he's hallucinating. She looks back down at her scanner. And before she could say anything, you hear a voice in the intercom say, "We have arrived at Delta Hydri, Romulan Outpost 53. We will be transferring the prisoners to a Romulan vessel. Prepare them. Captain, what was his name? Captain Rark out." So she looks around, she says, "You need to get up, Tennyson, it's time to go."
He gets up and gets dressed in proper clothes. And he keeps on looking around. He's really paranoid now.
When he's in the bathroom and he looks in the mirror, he sees his mom behind him holding a dagger like she's about to stab him in the back. But when he spins around, she's not there. What does he do? Are you there? You there, Mac?
Yeah, he just wipes his eyes and then basically he quickly gets dressed and gets out of the room. Make sure he gets his stuff and gets out of the room quickly.
When he gets into the corridor, Centurion Thova is waiting with a hypospray. She says, "This may help. It's experimental. In dealing with the Medusans, we have had need to come up with a cocktail that can counter their effects of creating madness in others. I believe that's what's happened to you." She holds the hypospray up, showing it to you, and she says, "Will you allow me?"
He shakes his head.
Shakes his head no.
He shakes his head yes.
Okay. So she presses the hypospray. Roll a D8 to see how much he gets his health back.
3.
+3, so he's up to 5. So he's not as bad as he was, but he's still not completely sane. She looks him in the eyes and says, "Tennyson, are you feeling any better?"
Yes.
Good. At least now you're coherent. She just shakes her head, kind of, and sighs. Um,
He's looking behind him to double check that no one's following him. Like, mainly his mother.
She looks back there like, what is he looking at? And then looks back to him and says, "There's nobody, and there's nothing here, Tennyson. You're okay. You're free. You're safe."
He just keeps on looking back.
She looks to she kind of says, "I wish they would finish interrogating your friend. Maybe that would help." And kind of escorts you down the corridor towards another room. In the room, you find that you're in a transporter room. Actually, no, you're in a shuttle bay. Because back then, I'm gonna just go ahead and say they probably didn't have transporters. And in the shuttle bay, you see somebody who's been laying down on a stretcher being wheeled into the shuttle, and she escorts you towards the shuttle. And 2 Orion guards stand behind you as they walk you towards the shuttle. Does he go quietly or does he resist?
He then freaks out. Like, he makes sure the doctor's in between him and the guards. Like, he's really paranoid.
Okay. As he jumps behind the doctor, she just looks to and says, "Tennyson, it's okay. They're just here to make sure you don't hurt yourself or anybody else." And I'm actually going to roll on the GM emulator something that might be interesting to to see if it happens. If I can find the damn thing. What's he doing? Does she have any effect on him, or is he just still going to resist and kind of go crazy, basically? Actually, make a insight command check. Let's see how I'll roll off. Actually, I'll roll. Let's see. She would have a relatively high presence, being medicine. Um, let's see. So it'll be a contested roll. Her against you, whoever gets the most. She got 2 successes. So if you get a good insight command, then you're able to understand what she's saying, and yeah.
Can I give you one threat?
Yes, you may. Ooh. So.
And he has no. Yeah.
I don't think. Did you get momentum or no?
No.
Okay. So you gave me threat. I am going to say that you think she is trying to trick you to go on the shuttle, and then they're gonna blow up the shuttle and kill you and Jadrock. So what does he do now? Well, actually, no. Scratch that. Because you did get a 2. You did get a critical success. So you believe that you know she doesn't want you any harm, and that the Orions are just there to make sure you don't hurt anybody. But the complication is that when you look at her, you see your mom.
He literally freaks out. He just presses his back against the shuttle, like literally in terror.
The 2 guards just run up and grab you and try to force you into the shuttle. Do you contest this, or do you go into the shuttle?
He goes into the shuttle.
Alright, you're
making sure he's further away from the doctor.
She has no idea why you're doing that. But you're in a Romulan shuttle now, and basically you are... the doors close, and Jadrock is in there with you, but she is unconscious, and she is lying on an anti-grav bed with a sheet over her. Not over her face, she's not dead, but she is lying there unconscious, and she also has 2 Orion guards, as you do as well, kind of guarding both of you. Where's the paste button on this damn thing? There it is. And then the shuttle begins to kind of not take off, but raise in the shuttle bay. The doors open, and it begins to head out into space.
He falls back to sleep.
Why does he fall back asleep?
Because he's tired.
Good reason.
Yeah, because
right.
being like under stress and everything actually does make you get tired a lot quicker.
Gotcha. So I'm gonna grab some ship pictures of a Romulan shuttle. As the shuttle is leaving the Orion ship, oh, that's a bit big. There. Let me make it a bit smaller. The Orion shuttle explodes. And you know that the only people that are on the Romulan shuttle is you, Jadrock, 4 guards, and the Romulan commander, who is sitting up front with one of the guards piloting. Does Tennyson do anything? He can clearly feel and see the ship explode out the window.
Um, is this the ship that we left?
Yep. And you're heading towards a Romulan ship.
He starts freaking out.
How does he freak out?
He starts like pointing out the window, like to the destroyed ship.
The Romulan commander looks over and chuckles, says, "It's all part of the plan. Don't worry. We didn't want any witnesses to what we're doing." And now I'm going to ask emulator something else again. Hopefully it'll say yes this time. It did. So at this point, you're looking out, pointing out at the destroyed ship, and another ship arrives. And let me actually Google it to see what it looks like. Put the music back on. I'm gonna pull the picture in. Just a second. Alright, so this ship comes out of warp, and you also, Tennyson would know that the Romulan ships of this era do not have cloaks yet. So this ship comes out of warp. This ship cannot cloak yet. It is still powering. It is still waiting for the shuttle to dock. It'll probably happen in like 2 minutes, but it's still waiting. And this ship, the ship that just arrived, fires on the Romulan ship. And I'm going to spend 2 threat to say that it just destroys it outright. And now it's just the big ship, or the bigger ship, and the shuttle. Is Tennyson do anything?
No, he's like literally freaking out.
Alright. The various Orions are working at tactical and the helm to try to evade and fire at this ship. However, their weapons do not really penetrate this ship's shields. It kind of hovers over you guys until it shoots out a grappler hook, and it hooks into the ship, and begins to draw you into a cargo bay that's opening.
Is that part of the plan?
Of course not. Don't be silly, the commander says angrily. You hear over the intercom a voice. It actually sounds kind of familiar. Almost like the creature that you first saw when you were held against your will. And he says, "We demand that you hand over the temporal interlopers or be destroyed." The commander says to one of the Orions, "Take us to warp." And he says, "But sir, we'll be destroyed if we go to warp while in a grappling hook." And he says, "We might take them with us, though." So at this point, if roll insight and security, difficulty 1, and to be able to think a bit more straight, because if you don't do anything, there's a high likelihood of your character dying right here. Alright, so you have a
How's
momentum.
it 2?
So you +1 to 6 also. Actually, +2 to 7 sanity. And you're able to think a lot more clearly now. And you basically realize that you need to stop the Orions and the Romulan commander from taking the shuttle to warp. And Jadrock, you can see, is starting to come to. I don't usually
He goes, no.
NPC players, but I'm gonna
He
do it in
go-
this case because she's not here and you need it.
He goes, no, we can't go to warp. Why we're grappled.
He says, "Shut up, prisoner," and he tells two of the guards to go and make sure that you stay. Make a presence and command roll. Difficulty is going to be opposed by his presence and command, which is going to be hard. You have a momentum if you want to use it.
I am.
All right. He's going to roll. I'm going to spend a threat to get another dice. You have to get 3 successes to beat him. 3 or more.
I'm going to.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna give you 1 threat.
Okay.
There, 3.
Alright. So, they're still gonna stand there with their disruptors pointed at you, yelling at you to shut up. But he's gonna say, "Damn it, fine, pilot. Stop, don't take us to warp." And he says, "But sir, we're almost in the cargo bay." He says, "Did you not hear what I said? Instead, set the quantum singularity core to overload. We'll take them with us." Done. So now they're not going to go to warp, but they are going to try to blow up both ships. And he goes back there with you and says, "You successfully convinced me not to go to warp, but you're still not going to get out of this alive." What does Tennyson do? You probably have about a minute before the shuttle either gets inside the cargo bay or explodes.
He goes. No, he goes. He knocks him out.
Ooh. So that is going to be a daring and security. And they have disruptors pointed at you, so they're, as soon as you try to do that, they're going to fire. So go ahead and roll. If you want to.
If he. No. He would definitely.
You see Jadrock sneaking up behind one of the Orions, and she nods to you. You know he has a disruptor, but it's in his holster. He has one pointed at you, but she nods to you as if she's trying to get you to attack the other one.
Basically, he grabs the disruptor out of the holster and shoots one of the guards.
Alright, daring and security. It's going to be contested by the Romulan because he doesn't want you to do that. And he's going to roll his daring and security, which is not too bad. I'm going to increase complication by spending, well, not complication, sorry, add another dice by spending threat. He got a 2.
I'm gonna give you 3 threat.
Wow.
Uh,
How much momentum do you have? Jesus. Alright, so you only have 1 momentum, right? Or did you spend that?
I did spend that.
Okay. So the good news is you successfully grab the weapon and you shoot the Orion. And I'm not even gonna do anything with, because you know how close he is and everything. You basically kill him. He is vaporized, and he. So that's your action. So let's see. He got 2. So you got 2 plus 3. 4. So you have 4 momentum because you. So do you want to spend 2 to get rid of the, or do you want to do the gamble and spend 1 and then re-roll it?
I want to spend 1 to. Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and do it.
I get another momentum.
All right. You get another momentum. And I'm just gonna say, I'll roll for her actually, because it'll be more interesting. If I can find her character, there it is. Alright, it's daring, and why you had a Klingon with a daring at 9? That's funny. Alright. Do you want to spend momentum to give her an extra dice?
Yeah, might as well.
Because she's on your side, yeah. Alright, so she got 3, and you're down to 3 momentum. I still have to roll to the bad guy to see how well he does, since she is sneaking up behind him. So he will need 2 successes, but she's already beat him. So he would have to get a lot more than that. Alright, so yeah. She beat him and gets you another momentum, so you're up to 4 momentum. She basically just breaks his neck and he dies. He falls over dead. One of this Orions is going to get up and charge you guys. She is going to nod to you to make sure you go after him, and she is going to go after the Orion. However, it is now the Romulan's turn, and he is going to charge you and tackle you. That's going to be a daring and security. I'm spending a threat to give him, because I have so much of it now, to give him another dice.
I'm going to give myself 2 dice with momentum.
Okay, you should easily be able to defeat him. You got a complication. Ooh, nice. Alright, so you get 2 momentum back, and as he tackles you, you need to do some unarmed damage. So do some unarmed damage, or some unarmed attack, or whatever you want to call it, an unarmed attack. So he gets an injury. 2, 3, 4, 5. So he is knocked down onto the ground as he tries to attack you. How do you do that? How do you get him onto the ground when he charges at you?
So I'm going to use his own momentum against him when I trip him. So he tries to tackle me, but he trips over one of my feet and lands straight on his face, head first.
Yep, and he is going to have a bunch of green blood pouring out of his nose and forehead as he does that. He's dazed, but he's not unconscious. Meanwhile, it is now your turn, since he just went. Now it's your turn. What are you gonna do?
He pretty much shoots him.
Jesus. Okay. Control and security difficulty is 2. You know what? I'm gonna say difficulty 1 because he's on the floor. Yeah, he's on the floor and he's like 4 feet away from you. So roll your damage dice for disruptor to see if you kill him or if you just injure him. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he's shot and he's dead. Now it is this Orion's turn, and he is going to attack Jodrock with a knife. Let's see, Orion Pirate. Daring and security. Spend a threat. He hits, and I have to roll for Jadrock to see if she can evade it. More daring security. Do you want to spend a momentum or no?
Yeah, she has to evade it.
Alright. She successfully evades it, and now I will roll an attack. It says disruptor, but I'm just counting it as a blade attack. 1, 2, 3, 4. So she basically, as soon as he tries to stab her, she grabs the blade and turns it around back into his side. It doesn't, do too much damage, but it basically staggers him for a bit. So he's no longer he might miss a turn, but he's not injured. He's just basically got cut slightly on his side. And that was his turn, so her turn is, I'm going to say she had, since there's so many effects there, I'm going to say she's got the blade in her hand and she's going to throw it at that guy. So, let's see what happens. And, ranged, control and daring are both the same. That's weird, she has all 9s. I didn't even know that was a thing. Let's see, do you want me to spend momentum so she can successfully throw it at the guy?
Yes. That'll be badass to do.
Alright, so... Ooh, 3, and it's not contested because it's technically arranged. So, yep, now I'm gonna roll some damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. It sticks into his shoulder, and he staggers. So, both of them are staggered and slightly wounded, but not injured enough to knock them down or knock them out. So, both of them are going to miss a turn. So, what does Tennyson do?
He finds, whereabouts is the, grappling hook, attached to?
So, on the outside, both of them are staggered and slightly wounded.
Yeah,
but you can't
what
get
parts?
to it. If you're looking at the screen, it's probably like in the middle. It's probably like pierced right through the outer hole on the middle, on the back of the ship.
Okay.
You can't shoot it with a disruptor.
So I can't use the phasers in the ship?
No, that you wouldn't be able to reach it. Hey,
okay,
they're smarter than that.
Can I shove the singularity drive into the ship itself?
What do you mean?
Like eject it.
You want to eject this? Well, he hasn't. Nobody has set it up to explode yet. But if you want to eject it, you can.
He goes back down to the back to set it up to explode, but before it goes to explode, he wants to eject it into them.
Alright. That's going to be a daring and engineering difficulty 5 task. Do you still want to do that? I'm also going to set the complication range to 5.
Maybe not.
Yeah, ejecting a warp core and triggering it to explode at the right time inside of another ship is really dangerous and really difficult. But yeah, is there anything else that he wants to do? I will say, as your, as Tennyson is trying to figure out what to do, he will see that these two Orions that are slightly wounded begin to smile and begin to even chuckle a little bit and feel a little bit. It would seem that they're really happy, but he doesn't know why.
What the heck?
So what is he gonna do?
He goes, if I go down, Yous are going to go down with me.
What does that mean?
He looks at him and goes, "Why are you smiling?"
Jadrock is going to roll insight and either medicine or science. And while you're doing that, Jadrock is going to just go to the console and try to make sure, because you guys are like halfway in the shuttle bay already. She's gonna try to get you guys to, try to back out or something. Alright, so you got 3 successes. That's what you needed. And she got 1, which is not. So you will remember an old Romulan legend or tale regarding the Medusans. If you look at them, they'll drive you crazy, but if they are able to make people feel extreme levels of happiness and bliss, even to the point where it makes them useless. So they start giggling and laughing and falling down, unable to actually do anything now.
He goes, "Oh shit." He looks at Jadrock and then he goes, "No, we're gonna get out of here now."
We can't. I've tried removing the ship from the grappling hook. It won't work. You guys are now inside the shuttle bay and the doors are starting to close.
Okay, can I spend 2 momentum and 1 threat to try and get us out of here?
Sure. What do you want to roll to do that?
He wants to try and fly the shuttle out.
Well, it's going to be really difficult considering you're still grappled by the grappling hook.
How difficult?
To fly the shuttle out of that's like difficulty 4.
Yeah, I'm willing to roll for it.
Alright, go ahead. I'm increasing the complication range to 5.
And he's gonna look at Jadrock and he goes, "You willing to help?"
Of course. So she's gonna get at the... Ooh, nice. Let me roll for Jadrock real quick. Did you roll con?
Yes.
Okay. So... let's see. 3, 4, 5. So you get a momentum. However, that is a 20. Do you want to use your last 2 momentum to get rid of it?
Can I re-roll it?
Sure. Spend 1 momentum and re-roll it. Difficulty, or the complication range is 5. Because you can't increase it more than that, unfortunately. Alright, so now you get another momentum. So you get back up to 2 momentum, basically. Alright, so you wrench free of the cable that's connecting you, and a good portion of your ship comes off with it, but you do manage to get out through the bay doors before they close, and you are getting a hail from the Medusan ship, and he says, "Temporal interlopers, please respond. We do not mean you any harm."
He warps out. he goes, "Jadrock, take us into warp."
Yes, sir, and she does that. I'm not gonna make that roll. I'm just gonna... well, actually, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. Let's see, control and con, difficulty 1. Ooh, do you want to spend 2 momentum or gamble with 1 momentum?
I'll spend the 2 momentum.
Alright, so you're down to 1 momentum. The engines, probably because of the strain that you put under them, wrenching free of the cable, do not activate, and another cable shoots out. I am going to roll off screen to see how well it connects. And that was a critical success, so this time it hits the front of your ship. And you get another hail from the Medusan saying, "Let us explain, please. We only wish to help." Do you answer
He
them?
wants to shoot them. He answers them and says, "Let me go now."
We
And
can't
then
let you go. You're interlopers in time, but we can make sure you're comfortable. We cannot let you go, though.
Can he fire the phasers at the grappling hook since they're attached to the front?
Sure. Control and their disruptors, not phasers. Control and security. Difficulty, because you're aiming, difficulty is 3, and I'm going to roll for the ship. Ship got a 3, so that's a success.
I got a 2. I got 2.
Alright, so you hit the cable, and I'm going to spend a threat to say that your ship is now spinning as shooting the cable like that makes it so that it's really hard for you to get a good accurate reading of navigation, and you're just spinning through space basically away from the bigger ship. So what do you want to do now?
He goes, "Do you have a handle on the shuttle?"
I'll see what I can do. And she's gonna roll again, trying to go to warp. Control con, difficulty 1, actually difficulty 2, because it's spinning. I'm gonna roll for the ship. That's a 4, so that's a success. The ship goes to warp, or the shuttle goes to warp. Which direction, sir? Jadrock asks.
Well,
Where's our heading?
we might as well go to Earth.
Heading towards Earth, sir. And she turns the ship towards Earth. But you do know, based on your sensors, that the Medusan ship is pursuing. Roll.
Wait.
Sorry. Go ahead.
He goes. Wait. Let's go. Go to Romulan. Go to Romulus.
All right. She changes course to Romulus. Roll reason security as you're looking at your scan. I will roll for the ship. The ship assisted. It's going to be a difficulty of 2, so you got a momentum. You notice a squadron of Romulan warbirds are about to intercept you in probably 30 minutes. There's 5 of them.
He
How'd you go from 1 momentum to 4?
Oh. Okay. I'll.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he continues going through to the course to them five Romulan war squadron.
You're heading
squadron.
towards them?
Yeah. To deliberately make sure this big ass ship leaves me alone.
That's a good idea. Alright. Are you just heading towards them, or are you going to hail them, or what?
He's gonna hail them.
Alright. They answer. A Romulan commander appears on screen and says, "What is the meaning of this?"
Basically, they're trying to attack us and kidnap us.
You were supposed to come to Romulus so that we could run experiments on you, but it looks like you're too much trouble, so we're going to destroy you.
Wait. You don't want to know. Fine then. It isn't my fault that you won't know, any unique, cool weaponry and stuff like that.
Ooh.
So, if you
Roll.
want...
No, go ahead and then roll presence command after you say that. Go ahead.
I'm gonna spend 2 momentum because I really wanted this to actually go.
All right. Well, lucky for you, his insight is low. So. All right. I accidentally rolled twice, but the first one was better. Is that presence command yours? The last one, the one with the complication. All right. So, ooh, yeah. Even with a 7, he succeeded against yours. So, and that's a complication. You want to spend those 2 momentum and get rid of it, or 1 momentum for gambling?
I don't have any momentum.
Oh, because you spent those 2. Okay, I was just looking at the last ones. All right, so
yeah.
He just turns off the screen when you say that, and now you are on 2 sides being confronted by enemies. So what do you want to do? You're still at war.
He goes, Jadrock. Can you look on your scanners to see if there's any other fleet, like ships nearby, like Klingons or somebody?
We're in Romulan space. I don't think so, but I'll look. All right, let's see. Science and reason. And I'll roll for the ship. So that's 3 successes, but I have to actually ask the GM emulator if there is, because you're deep in Romulan space, so it's possible, but not likely. I'm gonna say the chaos level is definitely like 6. Well, actually, it's like 7 now. I'm gonna say very unlikely. Is there any other ships? No. NPC positive. So NPC positive. Malice inside. Interesting. Which NPC should it be? The bad guys, or the other bad guys, or the somewhat good guys that are misunderstood? It's positive, malice inside. You know what? I'm gonna say it's for the Romulans because it makes the most sense. So basically, what happens? Let's see. An event occurs. NPC positive, malice inside. Okay. So basically, the Orions get up and they've managed to kind of take over their minds back from the Medusans, and they charge you. Both of them are charging both of you. So they're gonna roll first because they are basically ambushing you. Daring, security, and they're gonna attack you first. So you have to roll daring and security and get 3 successes or more.
I'm gonna give you 3 threat.
I figured. Wow. 2, 4, 6, 7. So that is 4 momentum. And now roll damage. Unarmed damage. Alright, so basically you knock him down, but you don't do any injury. So one of them goes down on the ground. And now it's your turn to go, because you just knocked one down when he tried to attack you. So your turn.
He's gonna phaser the other one.
It's a disruptor for the 100th time. And yeah, go ahead.
A disruptor.
Now, because he's so close to you, the difficulty is going to be higher. So it'd probably be better if you just did a melee. Because in melee, it's only difficulty 1. A disruptor at close range like that will be difficulty 3. And I'll increase the complication range.
Basically, he's gonna melee attack him.
Alright, daring security. He will attempt to oppose it. He got 2 successes, so you need 2 or more.
I'm gonna spend 1 momentum.
Okay. Ooh. At least you got 1, so that it won't be that bad. Hopefully. I'm just gonna. Let's see. You know, you do have. Did you use your determination last game?
Yes.
Okay, then never mind. You don't have the determination. Because basically, this is all one episode. Alright, so unarmed strike. You only take 1 damage. Basically. By the way, what's your stress level at?
He's ready at...
Keep in mind he was healed last game, so the injury
He would...
should have.
He was, no, he was healed up for 3 points of damage. 3 points of stress and...
Okay.
Yeah.
So...
He's still got only 3 left, so it's like...
Alright.
It knocks the wind out of him again.
Alright, yeah.
Realizing...
He basically just slams his palm into your face, or into your stomach, and knocks the wind out of you. That was your go, so now it's his go. He is going to... This is the one that lost his dagger. So he is going to try to restrain you. Let's see if he succeeds. Roll a daring security to try to get out of his restraint as he tries to do a headlock on you.
Basically, I'm gonna use 2 momentum.
Okay. You get a momentum back, and you manage to get out of it just in time, and then roll damage. Basically, the people that have been opposing the melee has been doing the damage, not the people doing the melee. Ooh. You slam your fist up into his nose, and it goes into his brain, and he dies. Or you do something that kills him with your hands. Maybe you just punch him and he falls and hits his head or something. However you want to say it.
Basically, when he moves, he makes sure he moves the back of his hand in the back of his head and just slams it against anything that's around.
Jeez, okay.
His hand guide.
Sorry, go ahead.
His hand guides the head into whatever it is.
It's probably a bulkhead. Alright,
yeah.
So, whose turn was that? Was that yours or his? I think that was his.
His. Yeah, he's...
So now it's Jadrock's turn. He's about to get back up, so she runs. Well, she's actually piloting. So do you want her to keep piloting or get up and attack him?
Keep piloting.
Alright, she's going to try to evade the Romulan ships that are going to try to intercept. So give me 1 sec. Do you have any momentum you want her to spend or no?
She can spend a momentum.
Alright, I'm going to increase the complication range to 4. Ooh, wow. Oh, I increased the wrong thing. Sorry. There, I'll roll again. Oh my god. You know what, I'm just going to go with the first one. So 0 is 17, that's a fail. 1, so she gets 2 successes. And I got to roll for the ship. And that's a 7, so yeah, the ship is a success. So you guys get 1 momentum back. And successfully basically does this at warp. And you guys fly away from in between them. So now they have to turn and head towards you.
Basically, he says go to Federation space.
She's heading to Federation space. Now it's this guy's turn. He is going to get back up and angrily draw his dagger and try to stab you. Because the other guy didn't have a dagger because he got it thrown at him. Or, yeah, something like that. I'm going to spend a threat. 2. You need 2 successes or more.
I'm going to use 2 momentum.
Alright. Nice. So you now just roll damage. See if you can turn his blade on him like Jadrock did and stab him with it. Yeah, he's dead. He gets stabbed in the gut and falls down, bleeding to death. She says, Jedrock says, we cannot evade these guys forever. Their warp is way faster than us. We're just a shuttle. They'll intercept us in 15 minutes.
He goes and looks on the science screen to see if there's any asteroids or stuff like that.
Roll a reason science or reason con. Say difficulty 1. I'll roll for the ship. Ship got a critical success, so you get 2 momentum. And yes, you find... Well, actually, let me ask the emulator. You've succeeded, but is there anything to actually find? Chaos is 7. The odds are unlikely that there's anything in space that you can hide behind. No. Now, I'm going to pull up a map. Give me 1 second. Because even if there's no asteroids or moons, there still may be a star system nearby. And if I remember correctly, just based on looking at the map, the galaxy map, where is it? Just use this one. If I remember correctly, you guys are in a sector with a few different solar systems, so let's see. Come on, computer. Fucking move your ass. What were you gonna say?
Basically, Tennyson sends a message to the other ship that, hey, the Romulans are trying to kill me.
Well, they were trying to help you and you ran away. Sorry, I'm just getting rid of the fucking grid. There we go. So, this is an old map, but all you really need to look at is this section in the Romulan Empire. I'm gonna zoom in. Alright, so you guys left here. You got to here, and now you're headed in this direction. At whatever this blue one is, this one, and this one, these 3 are all in range. However, they're also all 3 Romulan colonies, so other than that, there's nothing you can really do. So do you want to head towards one of these Romulan worlds, or do you want to just keep going through Romulan space hoping to get out on the other side, which is going to take you a couple of days, probably more than that, probably like a week.
We can try and keep going through Romulan space.
Alright. Let me move back to space. Oof, it's still zoomed in. When I zoom in, does it zoom in for you or no? Probably not.
Yes.
Oh, it does? That's dumb. You should be able to zoom in yourself. Anyway. Alright. So, you get a message probably like probably about 10 minutes later from the Medusans saying, please, I know you don't want to hear from us after what happened to you back on our planet, but let us explain. I promise we won't hurt you, just let us explain. And then their connection is jammed by the Romulans. And you don't hear from them. What do you want to do?
Oh! Seems like the Romulans don't want them to talk to us.
Seems that way. What do you want to do?
Let's send a frequency out on all frequencies saying, hey, instead of trying to chase us down, one wants to save us and the other wants to kill us. So whoever wants to dog it out first, you might as well dog it out.
Funny
So
you should
chase
say
me.
Because as you're saying that, the Medusan ship is catching up to the Romulans, and you can tell by the energy discharges that you see on your console, on your scanners, that they are actually fighting. The Medusan ship is not as well armed as the Romulan ship, however, its maneuverability is a lot better. So, even though you can't tell that by looking at it, but it doesn't look good for the Medusan ship, though.
He goes, well...
Go ahead.
He goes, we need to continue into Starfleet
Jadrock
territory.
says, but it's going to take a week to get there, and we'll probably get intercepted before we get there.
Well, as long as they're occupied right now...
Yeah, but
we
there's
can
other
easily
Romulan ships in the fleet that could intercept us and easily destroy us. We're just a shuttle.
Basically, we have no other choice.
Jadrock sighs, nods to you. Yes, sir.
The Federation is our only hope right now.
Didn't even realize this was upside down. I put a box of starships on my shelf upside down for some reason. She says, well, I hope we get there in time. As you guys continue to fly.
Basically, it'd be 1 in a million chance every ship in the fleet is actually looking for us.
Yeah, but they could just call someone and they can intercept us.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to ask the GM emulator if that happens. I'm going to say it's incredibly likely that happens. It's not incredibly likely that another ship finds you just willy-nilly, but it is likely that they have called someone to help them. The answer is yes. Your scanners are picking up 2 more of these ships between you and the Federation border.
Damn it. He goes, they don't even realize what they're doing.
What do you mean, sir? You talking about the timeline, sir?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they care. No offense, they're Romulans. And you notice that 2 of the ships that were chasing you have been destroyed by the Medusan ship. But there's still the 2 ahead of you. And the 3 behind you.
He continues. He goes, can we divert like on an angle towards like we're slingshotting towards Klingon space?
I can veer us towards Klingon space, but and I'm gonna move you to the map so you can see. If you guys are roughly here, getting to there versus getting to there, you're closer to Federation space.
Yeah, he wants to try and slingshot around the 2 ships.
What do you mean, slingshot around the 2 ships?
Like going around, like
they don't
that
have
way.
I was gonna say they don't have gravity. You can't like use their gravity to slingshot. But do you mean just like go around or? Yeah. Okay. That's gonna be a roll for sure. Let's see, Jadrock. She's gonna look to you and say, "I'm gonna need you to assist as co-pilot." And that'll be either control, daring, or reason, con. Do you want her to spend any momentum on dice?
Yes, please.
Alright. Ooh. That's not a complication. I didn't mean to. I'll roll for the ship.
Okay.
So there's 1, 2, 3 successes. I'm gonna say difficulty was 2, so you guys get a momentum. So you get your momentum back that she used, so you're still at 3. And you basically get around and head towards Klingon space.
I was gonna say, go around them to head into Federation space, so it looks like we're...
Okay.
Yeah.
Heading to Federation space. However, one of the other Romulan ships behind you was destroyed, but now these ships are turning towards you as they have seen that you have gotten past them and are joining the other two in their squadron. The roll of reason and security, difficulty 1.
There.
You get a momentum. You are looking at your console and you see that somehow the Medusans have bypassed their Romulans' jamming signal. And before you can read what the message or listen to the message, you see on your scanners the Medusan ship has finally been destroyed.
What the heck? He reads the message.
It basically explains what happened since you got there. So about 10 years ago in this timeline. Hold on one second. So, and basically in this timeline, or in this time in 2073, it was about 10 years after the World War III ended on Earth. And the Romulans discovered that the Vulcans had made first contact with the humans, and of course the Romulans hate Vulcans, decided they wanted to go to war with the Vulcans and Earth because they didn't want Earth, to develop warp, better warp drive ships and then eventually come to a war with them. And so their plan was to go to war with Earth like this year, 2073. Now, Tennyson would know, let me turn that down a little bit. Tennyson would know that didn't happen until the 2100s, 2150 or 2160s. So 100 years from now. But it looks like when you, Tennyson, and Jadrock, but especially Tennyson, appeared, the Medusans thought that they could use you to prevent the Romulans from going to war with Earth and the Vulcans, basically by showing the Romulans, like, hey, look what the future has, this is a Romulan from the future, everything's good if you don't go to war, but they knew that the Romulans would go to war with Earth eventually, but they wanted to postpone it as long as they could. However, one of the scientists, the first Medusan that you met, didn't want to use Tennyson in that way, or Jadrock, and basically was completely fine with letting you guys go after just studying you for a bit and all that good stuff. But then the Medusan government decided that they were going to actually sell you to the Romulans without using you to try to stop this war, and then the Romulans could do their experimentation and the research on you and whatever they wanted to do. The Romulans then hired the Orions to basically, take you from Medusa, and then of course Romulans being Romulans turned on the Orions and killed them, destroyed their ship and everything and all that good stuff. So basically, there was only a small group of Medusans in their government that were bad guys, and everyone else was good guys trying to help you. And you basically got the first Medusan killed, which he was just trying to help you. And the Medusan captain's last message says, it's impossible to send you back to your time. We don't have the technology yet. But if you figure out a way to prevent Romulus from going to war with Earth and Vulcan, or at least postpone it, and live out your life in the 2070s, then maybe one day there will be a way to send you back to your time. Sorry, what were you going to say?
He goes, now it's imperative we have to get to the Federation space.
All right. So you are going to keep trying to get to Federation space. They eventually, the Romulan ships get to within like a couple of minutes of you, and I'm going to show you on the map where you are. You're probably, let's zoom in a bit. Fuck me. Up. There we go. You're probably here when they are almost on top of you. Now you're in the middle of Romulan space, and they are going to fire their torpedoes at warp to destroy you. Now, this was before they created the plasma torpedo, so all they have are normal photon or spatial torpedoes. So
he goes, they only have normal torpedoes, he would say to Jadrock.
Jadrock says, well, that's good, but that they're not that powerful or that accurate. But you know, we don't have shields, and our warp drive is not doing well. So one of their torpedoes might just destroy us.
Evade, just evade.
All right, I'm gonna roll for evade. Do you want to assist? It's gonna be daring and con.
Yep.
I'm gonna say difficulty 3. Do you want to give her any momentum?
Yep.
Alright. I'm increasing the complication range by 1 because I only have 1 threat left. So increase your complication range to 2 and then roll 1 dice. Oh, 2 19s.
Basically, can she re-roll them, like them to?
Hold on, let's deal with the roll first before we deal with the complications. So the difficulty was what, 3, and
yeah.
The shuttle rolled a success, so you have 4 successes, so you get a momentum. So that hold on, let me finish. Let me finish, please. So you got a momentum, and so that 3 goes to a 4, so you have 4 momentum. If you want to buy both of them off, you can, or you can gamble them. How do you want to do it?
Buy them both off.
Alright, so you're down to 0. And I'm also down to 0 threat. So you evade the first torpedo that they shoot at you, but they're still getting closer. Now they're like 45 seconds behind you. What do you want to do?
He goes, He runs down to the back.
I thought he was going to say he runs down to the bathroom.
He runs to the back. And he would ask, do we need our singularity?
She says, only if you want to keep going at warp. But our warp drive is overheating. We're going to have to come out of warp in like 5 or 10 minutes anyway, or we'll blow up.
Can he dump some of the exhaust?
All that's going to do is be like a smoke screen, so it'll be harder for them to see you. It's not going to blow them up.
Yeah. Yeah?
Okay. Daring or control engineering, difficulty 1. You have to roll 2 dice. So you have 3 successes, so you have 2 momentum. Exhaust is put in their face, and it's harder for them to see. They're going to fall back to like 5 minutes away now.
That gives us 5 minutes of breathing room.
Well, we only have 5 minutes before we blow up anyway, so we better figure out what we're gonna do.
He tries to figure out if there's any, because we're made so much distance. He wonders if there's any asteroids in the immediate vicinity.
I'm just gonna ask the emulator. Let's see, where is it? Is there any asteroids or exomoons or anything that were even a nebula? I'm just gonna say 50-50. Ask it. Answer is yes. There is some asteroids that you can go to, but you're gonna have to come out of warp right now, and that's gonna be a daring and con. Difficulty is 2.
He runs back to the front and goes, "We need to drop out of warp now.
All
It's
right.
the asteroid field."
Do you want to give Jadrock any momentum?
Yep.
All right. I can't increase the complication range, unfortunately. All right. Now you need to roll daring and con. I'll roll for the ship. Ship got a success, so that's 3 successes so far. 4 successes, so 2 momentum you get, so you should be up to 3, I think. Or, yeah. Ship stops in an asteroid field.
Let's hide in the asteroid field while our engines are trying to recharge.
Okay, so while you're waiting for your engines to cool off, you hide in an asteroid field. 2 of the warbirds continue ahead, but 2 of them stop and start to investigate the asteroid field.
He'll deliberately make sure to get the shuttle into a pocket that it's harder for them to find.
Okay. I will say, if you want to spend a momentum, we can say that you find an asteroid that has a certain kind of ore that prevents sensors from penetrating it, and that way you can successfully hide in it.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that.
So after an hour or 2 of searching, they do not find you, so they go back to warp. And then Jadrock turns to you. Now what?
We have to wait till the engines cool down.
Well, that's gonna be like an hour.
Yep.
Oh wait.
And then we have.
It took them an hour to search, so we'll say that by the time they left, your engines will cool down. So now where are we? Are we heading back towards Federation space?
Yep.
All right.
And make sure that we stay off their radar.
She looks to you and says, "Commander Tennyson, can I ask you a question?
Why? Yes?
Why don't we just, or you, because you're a Romulan, just pretend to be a Romulan, and, from this time, and then anytime we see a ship, we just do some really, really good diplomacy, and we can maybe get to the neutral zone quicker."
Yeah. That's why I wanted to hide, so there was more time to get so that, yeah.
We might be able to find another ship heading towards the neutral zone, but maybe we don't search for a Romulan warbird, we search for like a freighter or a transport ship, a ship that won't really ask too many questions if they see a Klingon and a Romulan together.
Yep.
Alright, so now roll reason and science or con, because you need to scan for a freighter or a transport ship, and I am going to see if there is even one in the vicinity. Chaos level 7, the odds are unlikely. No. What did you roll? Oh wow, no wonder it said no. You got 2 20s.
Yep.
Do you want to use those last 2 momentum to gamble them to see if you can gamble them, or use 2 to get rid of 1, or how do you want to do it?
Can I gamble them?
Sure. So get rid of both of them, and then just re-roll what you just rolled, but increase the complication range Well, let me see what that 0 is. It's a 19, so that one's still a complication. But at least you got one success. So you successfully... Oh, let me roll for the ship. Ship got a 9, so you got 2 successes. And that's pretty much what you need to determine that there is a cargo ship, a Romulan cargo ship, making deliveries, but it's kind of far away, and that you're gonna have to make a run for it to get to it before, and it's gonna take you like 30 minutes to get to it, and there's a chance that you're seen. Do you want to make that trip?
He's say that it's 30 minutes to one, but we may get seen.
Jadrock says, "Well, you're the commanding officer, sir. It's up to you if you want to try to make the trip."
Great. He goes. We might as well.
Also, keep in mind there is no Federation right now. So
yeah, he goes. Oh, great! There's no Federation. Let's make our way to at least Earth.
Yeah, sir. But if we go to Earth in 2073, they're gonna look at us like we're crazy. They're gonna think you're a Vulcan, and they're gonna think I'm a monster, basically, because I'm Klingon. They're not gonna know what the hell to do
really?
with it. And that will definitely contaminate the timeline.
Basically, if we go to Vulcan, they at least know what to do then.
Yeah, it is also closer, so that's a good idea, sir.
Yeah. At least with Vulcan, they can, if they're pre-warned about the war to come, at least they know. And we need to bring the shuttle with us to actually prove that Romulus is actually wanting to attack.
Alright, sir. Do you want me to set the course for the Romulan cargo ship? If we try to get to the neutral zone, we're definitely going to be seen before we get there. They have listening outposts that scan and listen for ships, and we're only... Hold on. We're only right here. They can see us from there, they can see us from there, they'll be able to see us from there. We'll pass here and they'll see us there, they'll probably see us there, they'll see us over here. There's nowhere we can go. The transport is all the way over here, so it is out of the way. But if we can get to it, we have more likelihood of not being seen, but also of getting to someone that won't ask us a bunch of questions about where we came from. You could just tell them that you're a Romulan soldier that was stranded on a planet when you're trying to conquer it or something, and now you're just trying to get home or something. It's definitely better than trying to get through all these colonies and outposts.
We might as well go to the... Yeah.
All right.
And he gets the data for from the ship, the message.
Alright. So roll control and con. I'm gonna have you make the main roll. So it'll be... Hold on, let me see what your... Actually, it's gonna be reason and security. Because you have to make sure that you don't get caught. So that's more of a reason and security thing. And the likelihood of you guys getting caught, even though the chaos is 7, it's very unlikely because space is big. So ask a question. You do not get caught, but you still got to make a reason and security. And Jadrock,
what's the difficulty?
The difficulty is going to be 2. Jadrock is going to make a control and con assist. Alright, so you got a momentum and you get to the transport. For the sake of time and because I actually do have to go soon, I'm going to go ahead and close this out with give you the conclusion. You managed to get to the neutral zone after you convinced the cargo captain that you're just a stranded Romulan military commander, and the Klingon is your prisoner. They take you to the neutral zone, and from there you can go wherever you want. If you want to go to Vulcan, that's fine, and explain things.
Yeah.
They don't believe in time travel, so it's going to take a lot of convincing. But ultimately, you're going to have to choose somewhere to live until time travel becomes more of a norm, and then you can maybe find your way back. So, are you going to try to live on Vulcan?
It's probably the only best option. Logical.
All right.
And he would.
Sorry, go ahead.
He would definitely explain the whole concept of the time travel and everything.
Well, they still probably won't believe him, but they send the Klingon, they send Jadrock back to Klingon space because they're like, you can't be here. So she gets a transport, heads to Klingon space, and ends up living on some colony out in the middle of nowhere. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Do you have any questions or anything that you want to do before we end?
So he gets to actually physically get to see Starfleet be born.
Yeah, I would say 2073 he gets to see a lot of things develop, but he'll probably die of old age in the early 2100s, so he probably won't see or, I don't know, do Romulans live as long as Vulcans? I don't know, but I mean, max he would live till like 21, I'm guessing 40, maybe 2150. He would definitely be able to help warn them and prevent the coming Romulan war.
Yeah. He would write down everything, every document